Hi there everyone. This is a quick tutorial on how to create a virtual machine using VirtualBox. So to get things started, we are going to go to virtualbox.org/wiki/download so that we can download the application. Which one you choose will depend on which operating system you're using. We are on a Windows machine, so for this tutorial I will choose Windows Host. So once you click on that, and it will download, and you should now see it in your downloads folder. Sometimes people change where their stuff downloads, so if that is the case, you will need to go to wherever your downloads are. So once we have it downloaded, we are going to double click on it, and you will come to the setup wizard. So what we're going to do is very straightforward. We're just going to follow the prompts. So next. I'm going to deselect these, or uncheck these rather, because I don't like the clutter, but you can leave them checked if you want. And we are just going to proceed as such. Give this just a second. Okay, and we are now complete. So you have the option here now to leave this checked. If you leave this checked, VirtualBox will start immediately after I click finish. If you uncheck it, we'll have to manually go start it up. So we'll leave it checked, let it load up. Okay, so welcome to VirtualBox. Just a quick sort of walkthrough, a very brief one. On the left hand side, you will see all your VMs once you've built them. Preferences, just to kind of check some settings. You've got import and export. Import where you can import an already created virtual machine, and export being that you can export a virtual machine that you've created here if you want to take it somewhere else. For our use, we are going to click on new. We will title this test just because this is a quick test for this demonstration. Machine folder will leave as default for now. Because we don't really need to mess around with that unless you know exactly what you're doing. For this demo, I'm just going to choose a Linux machine, and we'll probably install Ubuntu, and we'll click next. Here we can decide how much memory we're going to allocate. This will depend on a couple of things. One, what is it that you're trying to achieve? So if you're trying to achieve something that's going to be a bit of a workhorse, you probably want to allocate more memory. But this will also depend on how much memory you actually have installed on your machine. In my case, you can see I have 16 gigabytes. So I could potentially give quite a bit to this virtual machine. But as it is a demo, we're just going to leave it at 1 gig. Next, we need to create a virtual machine. You also will see a couple of other options here. So do not add virtual hard disk. We'll just not create a hard drive for your virtual machine, and we would have to do that ourselves later on. Use an existing virtual hard disk file would mean that you either have like a VDI file previously created and you just want to attach it. In our case, we're going to create a new one, so we'll hit create. We'll stick with VDI. Do we want to do dynamically allocated or fixed size? Dynamically allocated means that if we were to use 10 gigabytes for this example, it'll block out 10 gigabytes. It won't block out 10 gigabytes straight away, sorry. It will grow as your VM and what it's doing grows. If you were to use fixed size, that's where it would block out 10 gigabytes straight away. So it's a nice feature. So we'll just go with dynamically for now. We'll use the default 10 gigabyte for now, and we'll hit create. And there we have it. We now have a created virtual machine, although it may be useless right now as it's not got an operating system on, but we have a VM nonetheless. So what we're going to do next is we are actually going to go download an image to put on. So for this demo, I'm using Ubuntu. It's a Linux distribution, so you can download this, or you can use whatever it is that you're gonna, whatever it is that you need to use for whatever it is that you're creating the VM for. So once you have that downloaded, you'll see it in your downloads folder, and we can now go ahead and create, or rather attach our image, so that we can get the operating system installed. So you want to go to settings, and you want to click on storage. Under controller IDE, you want to click on empty, the little blue disk in the corner, and click on choose create a virtual optical disk. Click on add, include the image, click open, make sure it's selected here, and hit choose, and then OK. Right, in those settings you actually can adjust the memory and a few other bits. You can kind of give some more cores to the CPU, but for this very basic demo I think we'll leave everything as it is, and once done we are going to click start. Once this comes up, there we go, you'll see it loading up. We'll just make that full screen so it's nice and clear to see. Right, there we go. So now you can see that the Ubuntu setup is starting up. It's just doing a quick check this before it will present me with the installation options. And there you have it. That is how you create a virtual machine. As you can see, it's very, very simple. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments. And please, if you found this useful, let me know, and I can kind of continue to create this kind of content. And finally, please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you very much.